If you would have told me that one of my favorite games of 2023 would be a Game Boy Advance game, I wouldn't have believed you. Goodboy Galaxy is an action platformer with Metroidvania elements that stars a blaster-wielding space dog named Maxwell, trying to save his home planet of Canis Major from the brink of destruction. However, when he's pursued by unknown assailants, he crash lands on an alien planet and has to search the galaxy for the ship parts he needs to return home. I had high expectations for this game, but I was blown away almost instantly. The artwork and animation is top-notch, and is especially impressive for a GBA game. The sprites for characters are bouncy and cute, the worlds you explore are all unique and vibrant, and the cutscenes really push the limits of what the Game Boy is capable of. Now I want to clarify something here. I'm not saying that this game is in the style of a GBA game, or that it feels like a GBA game. I am saying that this game is literally built to play on the Game Boy Advance, the 20-year-old handheld system. I'm usually not a fan of the GBA sound font, possibly because I grew up with it and I'm used to the limits of its sound chip, but Goodboy Galaxy takes that limitation and runs with it. The tracks in it are great, with many pieces being dynamic depending on the paths that you take through levels. It looks great, it sounds great, but I know what you really want to know is about the gameplay, right? Maxwell has 3 major tools at his disposal: his blaster, his jetpack, and his shield. Each of these allow you to reach different parts of an area, by destroying obstacles, leaping over roadblocks, or even using temporary invincibility to make it past a dangerous path. As you progress, you'll get various updates to your kit that allow you to explore more of each of the worlds, in true Metroidvania style. Goodboy Galaxy shakes up the gameplay of each world by having 3 paths that each take a different part of your loadout, making you need to approach each differently. How do you deal with enemies when you don't have a blaster? How do you traverse without a jetpack? How do you survive without a shield when you're only one hit away from doom? Each path shakes up your playstyle drastically and makes the moment-to-moment gameplay feel fresh. Now maybe it's just me, but I get lost in Metroidvanias really easily. That's why I'm thankful Goodboy Galaxy will point you in the directions of things to do. An exclamation mark on a path means that there's something to find, or a delivery to be made. Before I knew this, I was spending my time walking in circles trying to figure out what to do next, but once I was back on track, everything seemed to fall into place. While you're on the hunt for ship parts, you'll be meeting lots of colorful characters along the way. Do them a favor and they'll reward you with an item that will progress you on your quest, or even better, they'll become your friend. The writing for each character is delightful, and the fact that the main collectible in the game is friendship is so cute. Despite being cute, know that this game isn't a cakewalk. There'll be some moments where things get difficult. Thankfully, with only a few exceptions, Goodboy Galaxy is very fair with its checkpoints, and since there's no life system, you can get bonked repeatedly with very little punishment. If you want to play Goodboy Galaxy, pre-orders for a physical cartridge are currently open, but you can get the ROM file on itch.io right now if you want to adventure with Maxwell right away. And there's something really cool about this. Because I have the ROM, I can play it on my PC, my GBA, my Analog Pocket, my Switch, my 3DS, my Steam Deck, my phone, you get the picture. If you download the ROM of Goodboy Galaxy, you've got the freedom to play it on anything that can play a GBA ROM. That said, this game feels wildly anachronistic. While the style and charm of a GBA game is there, it keeps up with the 20 years of gameplay advancement that's happened since the system's launch. It's a modern game on a retro handheld, something that doesn't feel possible. If for some reason you can't play the ROM, Goodboy Galaxy will be getting ports on PC and Nintendo Switch, but if you can, play it on an original GBA. You'll feel like you discovered a lost relic of your childhood. If you can't play it on a Game Boy Advance, play it on whatever you can. It's a unique, fun experience that I've enjoyed every second of. It looks like the Game Boy Advance is an old dog that learned a new trick.